Hey guys, my name is Deb Marnie and I'm from Aussie Maille, and this is our chain mail tutorial channel. Hey guys, a big hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for popping in and spending some time with me today. It is fabulous to see you. So today guys, I'm doing a weave tutorial for you, and the weave I've chosen today is the full Persian Elven Rope. All right, let's jump straight into it. Okay, so I've made up some sample pieces of the full Persian Elven Rope for you to look at today. So I'll run through these sizes with you, but they'll also be coming up here on the side of the video. You can also find them down in the description section below this video, along with links to more information on people who created the weave, etc. Links to our website, all of that information is found down in the description tab. But to run through these quickly with you right now, our first one here is our 14 gauge AWG version. So that is 1.6 millimeter diameter wire, and the ring ID I used for this one was 8.5 millimeters. Our next one is our 16 AWG version. That is 1.2 millimeter diameter wire, and the ring ID for this one was 6.25 millimeters. Our next one is our 18 gauge AWG. This is 1 millimeter diameter wire, and the ring ID I used here was 5 millimeters. And finally, this gorgeous delicate little one here is our 20 gauge AWG version. That's 0.8 millimeter diameter wire, and the ring ID was 4.25 millimeters. So just to have a quick look at this weave, it's actually a double-sided weave. So you can see we've got this view here on this side, and then when we flip over here, we've got our traditional Persian look. So you've got two views on this particular weave. Okay, so to start this weave, we're going to create a simple 1-1-1 chain that we're going to be basically folding in half. So to do this, I'm going to start off with a single ring. Now, just as a note, I'm doing this in 14 gauge 5/16, which is right at the minimum size that is suggested for this weave. I'm doing it in this size so that you guys can see the two different colors, and hopefully that will make it a little bit easier for you to understand. But it will probably be a little bit tighter, or it will definitely be a little bit tighter than the weave samples that I've already shown you. But I'm going to give this a go so that hopefully it will help you see how the weave is constructed. So I'm going to start off with my 2 lengths of 1-1 chain. You can make that up however it is that you like to make it. You are going to need it a little bit longer than what is required to go around your wrist or whatever you're making this piece for, but you can add to this as you go along, so you don't have to get it spot on the first time you make it up. So you guys go ahead and make up your simple chain. Remember, we want 2 pieces of simple chain. I've just joined them here with a single ring at the top. If you go ahead and do that, guys, and I will meet you back here to show you what the next steps will be. So I've got my simple chain sections here. So I've got 2 sections of 1-1-1 chain. And now I want to position these like you would when you're starting elf weave. So I'm going to take my first 2 set of rings, and they're going to sit up against each other. My next set of rings are going to sit on the outside of those rings, so they form like a little bit of a valley there. And then our third set of rings, they're going to be sitting on the inside. So if you've had experience with elf weave, this will be very familiar to you. If you haven't seen elf weave before, I'll link a video up here in the corner for you to go pop along and have a look if you want some more information or see it demonstrated differently. Okay, so once we've got our rings positioned like this, we're going to take up our bright aluminium ring in this case. And for this first ring, I actually just want it to go through the eye of our first 2 sets of rings. So for those that are unaware, an eye is the shape that is formed when 2 rings overlap. So you can sort of see here, we've got this space here where these rings overlap, and that is what I'll be referring to as an eye. So our first ring wants to go through the eye that is formed by, or the eyes that is formed by all 4 of our first 2 rings, our first 2 pairs of rings. Okay, so it wants to go through that first eye, through the second eye, so that I have picked up all 4 of those rings, and I want to close that up. Okay, and I'm just going to flip that forward so that it sits like this. I'm going to turn my work over, and I'm going to place a second ring through the same position on the other side of my work. So again, going through that eye, picking up all 4 of our rings, closing that up. Okay, so our work should look like this. Okay, so maintaining that pattern that we established with our center rings, so in this case, inside, outside, inside, we're going to take up another of our bright aluminium rings, and we're going to go down to the next set of eyes in our work. So this is the set that we just went through, and we're going to come down to this next set of eyes here, where our 4 rings overlap. And again, we're going to pop our new ring into those eyes, making sure we pick up all 4 of our rings there, guys. Okay, make sure you get all 4, that you go through both eyes. And then before closing, we sort of want to flip our open ring back so that it goes through our first set of rings. Okay, so you can see here that we're going through our first set of center rings, sitting on top of the previous bright aluminium rings that we added, and close that up. Okay, so your work should look like this. You can see here that it's gone through the eye of our new set of rings here, and then it's flipped back and gone through our first set of rings. So I'm going to flip my work over to the other side. I'm going to take up another opened bright aluminium ring, or BA ring, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to look for my eyes, which is here. I'm going to make sure I've got all 4 of those rings placed on my open ring correctly, and then I'm going to flip that open ring back, feed it through that first set of rings in our 3, and I'm going to close it up. Okay, and you can see the start of our weave there. So again, returning to our center chain, this time our patterning is open, closed, open. It really doesn't matter which side of the weave you do it on. This side here is closed, open, closed. Honestly, it doesn't matter. As long as you just follow the pattern, depending on what side you're on. So this side we're on closed, open, closed. So I'm going to take up my new bright aluminium ring. I'm going to go to the eyes that are formed with our new ring. So these ones are already locked into place. So this is our 3rd set in our set of 3 pairs. So I'm going to go in there in that eye. You can see that eye there. It's a nice clear shot of it. We're going to go in there, picking up all 4 of our rings, making sure you've got all 4 of them. And then before closing, I'm going to just lie my working ring back so that I can slip it through the first pair of our working rings. Okay, and close that up. Okay, so you can see there it's gone through the eye and through the first pair of rings in our set of 3. I'm going to flip my work over, take up a new opened ring, go through that same eye that we just went through before, making sure, open that up a bit better, making sure I pick up all 4 rings. Okay, I've got all 4 of my rings. Before I close it, I flip my open ring back, and I slide it through what is the first set in our 3 sets of rings. So as I said, this is on the tighter scale of rings for this weave, so this is a little trickier to close up. And there you go, you can see the 2 sides of our weave forming. And you just keep doing that down the length of your weave. So again, working with 3 rings, so we've got 1, 2 pairs of rings that are already in weave, and our 3rd pair being a new set of rings. Okay, we've got that following the established pattern. So we've got in, out, out. Our new set of rings will be in, and we want to go through the eye that is formed between our 2nd and our 3rd set of rings. Okay, in there, in that eye, making sure we pick up all 4 of our rings. Okay, so through the eye, I've got 4 rings on my working ring. I fold my working ring back and I place it through our first in our set of 3 rings, our first pair. Take that through and close it up. Flip it over to the other side and place a new ring, going through the same eye, picking up all 4 rings, flipping our work back, going through the first of the 3 sets of the center rings and closing it up. So it is getting quite tight here, guys. This is not a size I would recommend, but I'm doing this so that you guys can see the 2 different weaves. And then you would just keep adding, as I said, your center rings until you get to the length that you require. So I would just open this up, pop a new ring on, close it up. Okay. Do the same on the other side. Make sure you've got all these rings closed. Okay, and then you can again just position your work as dictated by the pattern. This time I'm on the other side of my work, so this is out, in, out. As I said, it doesn't matter which side you start on. Just maintain that pattern. Then look for the eye that's created between the 2nd and the 3rd set of rings. Go through that eye, making sure we pick up all 4 rings, coming back and picking up the first set of rings. So this is getting very tricky to do. It is really locking down. Okay, flip your work over. Let's see if I can get this last ring in. I think it's going to be a little tricky. So we go through the eye, flip it through, go through the other side, and yeah, there we go. Got it through there. Let's see if we can close it. All right, so we got it in, and that is as far as I'm prepared to go with these ring sizes. As you can see, that creates quite a stiff weave. So if you're looking for something that perhaps creates arms in crosses or something, this might be an ideal thing to go for. There you go, guys. That's how you do the full Persian Elven Rope weave. All right, my lovelies, well, that is it. That is the video today. I hope you found it useful and enjoyable. If you did find it useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up here on YouTube. Share the video if you like. If you're not a subscriber, it would be awesome if you would consider doing that. And it is even more awesome for those of you who have already done that for me. Thank you. It does help this channel greatly. Also, while you're here, don't forget to check out the link to our shop up there in the corner. That's where we sell the bits and bobs and you know what's you're going to need to whip up this weave and many others. But thanks so much, guys, for popping in and seeing me. I do truly appreciate it. I hope you're keeping safe and well, and that we'll be able to spend some more time again in the very near future. All right now, bye. Mwah.